Hello everyone, welcome back to codingscientist.com. You are watching one of a kind series called Raspberry Pi Hacking. So why do I call it as a hacking? You will realize over a period of time. Anyways, so guys, I hope you have installed the VNC viewer on your Windows machine. So if you haven't done it, go back to my previous video, previous lesson, download it as per the instructions and make sure that it's up and running. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to activate your VNC server on your Raspberry Pi. So let's take a look. If you see my Raspberry Pi, I have not connected any of the HDMI. See, both the HDMIs are free, and I'm going to remove the USB controller as well because I don't need a keyboard, right? So you can see it's just a bare bone, and I just connected to the power. Okay, you can see the red LED, and it's also connected to my Wi-Fi. So I'm going to show you how things are being hooked up. I'm going to connect remotely right now. I'm going to connect in front of you through my Windows machine, right? The video which I'm making right now is on Windows laptop. So I'm going to use my VNC and log into my Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to show you some of the settings. So let's move on. So let's go into, let me just minimize this. Right. So now, how do we open VNC? I showed you in the previous video, VNC. So VNC. So you can see that is a VNC viewer. It's already open up here. So I am going to show you. So once you open up this, you will get this window. You need to type this IP address which belongs to this is my IP address. So I am going to show you how to find your IP address of your network, whichever the Wi-Fi you are connected with your Raspberry Pi. So what you need to do, for example, this is my Raspberry Pi desktop. Okay, I am connected here. So what you need to do, you need to open the terminal like this. So how do you open the terminal? You need to, let me just close this. You need to go in here. Can you see? This is my Raspberry Pi desktop, right? I'm connected remotely. Guys, I'm connected remotely to my Raspberry Pi. So you need to go here, the black window. You will get this black color window. You need to type ifconfig, CONFIG, ifconfig. Okay, you need to type this and hit enter. Remember, you are using your Windows machine through VNC. You are using VNC. Once you hit this terminal, right? So what you need to do initially for the first time setup to get this IP address, you need to connect your keyboard, your mouse and the monitor, and you will get this kind of window as soon as you boot up your Raspberry Pi. So that is where you will get this particular screen, and you need to make a note of this particular IP address 192.168.1.23. okay, so this is the IP address which belongs to your Wi-Fi. This IP address belongs to me, so do not copy the same thing. So your IP address will be totally different. All right, guys. So before doing that, what you need to do, go click on this Raspberry Pi symbol. Okay, this particular logo on top. Can you see it here? Let me just show you. Follow my mouse. Click here. Again, guys, you need to perform this activity while connected to your HDMI port and a monitor with a keyboard and a mouse. Okay, so that is just a one-time activity. Once you do that, you don't require that anymore. So go to Raspberry Pi, the symbol, and then go to preference. Once you go to preference, go down Raspberry Pi configuration. So let me show this again. Click on this Raspberry Pi menu, this icon, this red color with the green leaves. Click on this. Go down, you get preference. On the preference, go to Raspberry Pi configuration. Click on that, and there you go. You get this window. In this window, you go to interfaces. Okay. Once you go to interfaces, you need to enable this VNC. You will see it will be grayed out. Okay, you need to click this and you can enable the SPI, which I'm going to talk about that later. The I2C, you can enable this as well. Okay, and then in case if you are using Raspberry Pi 3, you might see similar kind of thing for activating the camera. So enable the camera as well. Okay, so let me, and then you need to click OK. Let me show this again. Go to Raspberry Pi. Let's take a step back. I don't want this to be confusing for you. First, you need to connect your HDMI port, your monitor to the HDMI port. Okay, and then the keyboard and the mouse, and you will see this exact screen. Okay, as soon as you boot up, you power up your Raspberry Pi, you will see this particular screen. Okay, as soon as you see the screen, you need to connect to your Wi-Fi. I don't think I need to tell all this, but I'll just walk you through. So you have to come to the right hand corner. Let me just minimize this window and show you. You need to come to the right hand corner here. You can see this Wi-Fi symbol, same like your Windows laptop, right? And then you need to select your Wi-Fi signal, whichever is your SSID. Mine is RoboThought, so I selected this, and you need to put your password, your Wi-Fi password, and then you need to save it. And same way Bluetooth we will see later on. Okay, and then once you are done with that, you go to Raspberry Pi, go to preference, and then go to Raspberry Pi configurations, and then in the configurations window, go to interfaces. In interfaces, enable the VNC. As soon as you enable and click OK, on the right hand you can see here, on the right hand side you can see this particular logo. This is the VNC logo, which is the VNC server. See, if I highlight, it's written VNC server service mode, so it's currently activated, right? So that's what it says. So it's confirmed that you are activated, and once you activate it, right, you have to reboot. So reboot your Raspberry Pi. You can either go to terminal again and you can type reboot now and hit enter. It's going to reboot. I am not going to do that because I am live. I'm just showing it to you, so I don't want to reboot it. Now what you need to do, once you are done with this, then unplug your HDMI port and your USB keyboard and mouse and stuff like that, and then reboot, reconnect again. Once you reconnect, in your Windows machine you will have to open VNC. Okay, once you open it, you have to type the IP address which you found on your Raspberry Pi window. Okay, how did you find your IP address? Let me show you once again, guys. Open this terminal. Okay, on the terminal type ifconfig, ifconfig, hit enter. Once you enter, you will, under WLAN, wireless LAN 0, you get the first IP address, which is called iNet. This is your IP address. This is mine, right? So yours will be different. Note down this IP address somewhere, and then after noting down, go back to your Windows machine. In Windows machine, open the VNC viewer and type that IP address here and click enter button on your keyboard, and boom, that is where you will be connected to this particular window. So you have complete remote access now, and this is how we are going to carry forward with the upcoming exercise. So you don't require any more keyboard or mouse or monitor hereafter. Once the VNC is activated, both on your Windows machine as well as Raspberry, you don't require any of those hardware. We are going to remotely play around and do stuff like that. So while accessing this, I'm going to show you. See, my Raspberry is still headless mode. That means I am not connected to any of the HDMI, neither I have a wireless keyboard or mouse. I am just using my Windows keyboard and mouse, which is just in front of me, which is connected to my Windows machine while making this video. You can see it here. So I'm totally headless, and I'm working in front of you, showing you the VNC server. You can see I'm connected to my Raspberry Pi. So cool, isn't it? So guys, go ahead and finish this exercise. If you have any doubt, reach out to me. I will be glad to help you. You have my support line, support number. Do not hesitate. Drop an email, or you can just ping me. I'll be happy to assist you. Do give a thumbs up and a like. I will get back to you soon in the next lesson. Bye bye.